We hope to transition that entire space into a education tour where youth, they can come and they can see and understand the importance of the marine resources, understand how they can contribute to it as well, and they can also spread the message throughout the entire community.
The fish sanctuary is run by the Marine Trust, or Oracabessa Marine Trust, which is a partnership between Oracabessa Foundation and the Oracabessa Fishers Association. Right, and we take this partnership approach to managing the protected area. The purpose of a fish sanctuary is to act as a fish reserve or a breeding site where fish will get to reproduce, and the fishers fish on the outside of the boundary and they will catch a spillover.
Overall, in terms of our marine conservation model, it has been hailed as a success locally and internationally, and I think a lot of that has been due to our model. I would say we utilize what is called an ecosystem-based approach, where all of our operations, our management style, the way how we implement projects, we include and allow the local community to be a part of that decision-making process. And I think that has been a key element in terms of our success. So even though we are a foundation that's linked to GoldenEye, which is a tourism stakeholder, through the Oracabessa Marine Trust, we have basically cultivated that ecosystem approach where the local fishers are a part of that, all activities that include our marine conservation, because they are the main users of the sea, they are the main beneficiaries, and they are the ones to lose the most if we were to have continued issues with our reef health, our coral coverage, as well as our fish biomass. So for us, it is important that they are an important stakeholder and partner in all that we're doing.
The pandemic has been very hard on the economy, but fortunately the government managed to maintain funding of the fish sanctuary, for which we are very grateful. And we have actually received some funding through BioPalma, which is funds are coming through the EU. And that will support our operations for the next 12 months.
Now, where we're going in the future is basically creating a sustainable blue economy here in Oracabessa, right? And through our projects such as the dive shop, through setting up the sea urchin nursery, which we ultimately want to transition into a marine sciences education tour, and things like the land-based Irish moss farm. These are things that we are creating so we can basically be self-reliant in our operations.
We have opened our dive shop, which it opened actually right at the beginning of the pandemic. So we haven't really been able to see the revenue that we had hoped, because we were really targeting more international tourists. However, we've had a lot of support from the local dryland tourists, the local tourists coming from all over Jamaica to come and see the sanctuary, and that has really been helpful.
So yes, we have a dive shop, but also the funds made from the dive shop we use to support our marine conservation program. We use it to plant coral, and in the midst of all of that, we are employing persons from the local economy. So all of our dive shop employees are fishermen that have been trained and certified as dive masters. You understand? All of our wardens that patrol in our sanctuary are all fishermen that have been trained and certified as fisheries inspectors and game wardens. And once we get our marine sciences education tour up, we'll be training persons from the local community to be tour guides, and they will be able to earn alternative income. So for us, we are basically manifesting that sustainable blue economy model, which is important because we are a small island developing state, and basically we benefit largely from our marine resources. And if you look at most attractions across Jamaica, they are ecosystem based. So largely our economy, which is driven by tourism, which is driven by agriculture, for future generations will rely on our ability to sustainably manage it.
And we're also exploring the idea of growing seaweed, which is Irish moss, because we have a protected area, a controlled environment, and we have staff here that can monitor. So we're looking at growing Irish moss. There's a high demand for that. It's a very healthy product. There are other edible seaweeds, that there is market for outside of Jamaica. So, you know, we're trying to be very innovative, and you know, and these things might be spin-off too for the local community, because, you know, the fishing industry needs diversification and needs innovation and so forth, and we're happy to play a part. The Fishers Association is a big part of our team. You know, fishers are on the board of the sanctuary, so all the projects, when we're seeking grant funding, when we are designing projects, when we're planning for the future, the fishers are always on board in that planning. So, you know, any projects we take on benefit the fishers as well as the environment.
We all now have to look at our operations, look at what local resources that are there that can generate income in a sustainable way. And the reason why I use sustainable before using blue economy is exactly that. We have to ensure that once we exploit the resources that God has given us within the spaces, we don't damage it at the cost of our future generations.